just completely broadened our opportunities really to have a much better life together.
The NDIS is a new way of providing support to families and people living with a disability in Australia.
I think certainly with that initial diagnosis of dementia, we were in absolute shock really. So the NDIS is helping me live my life because it gives me the opportunity to go back to work. I had cut down to 2 days a week and I was not able to maintain that because we didn't have access to support to help Ross be at home while I was at work.
The NDIS supports around 460,000 Australians that are under the age of 65 and living with a disability, and they provide reasonable and necessary supports to enable those people to live a good life. The types of support that families can access is things like personal care, support to access the community, therapy services, and potentially some types of equipment.
So the services that NDIS will provide will be support in terms of personal care, showering, dressing, things like that, preparing breakfast for you, making sure that you have your medication. Just being approved for the NDIS, I guess it's a huge relief for us that we can access the funding that we need for Ross to stay at home so that I can care for him and that I can go back to work.
To be eligible for the NDIS, you have to meet 3 key criteria. You have to be under the age of 65, be an Australian citizen living in an NDIS rollout area, and you have to have a permanent disability. When you contact the NDIS, you will likely need to provide information around your diagnosis, perhaps a letter from your neurologist or your specialist to prove your diagnosis. You'll also need to provide information about your age, for example, your driver's license or your passport, proof about your citizenship, and also information about where you live, for example, a bill or something that you can provide to show where you live.
It's just such a relief, really, knowing that we can have the support that we need and that it's not set in concrete, that we can work it around to the way that we want it and the way that's going to make a difference to Ross's quality of life and mine.
To find out more about services you can access through Alzheimer's WA for the NDIS, please contact our customer support team on 1300 66 77 88.